This guide will explain how to win Domination in Black Ops 2, which is very similar to the previous installments of Domination, although the design of the Domination flags is linear as far as I can tell in Black Ops 2, and exclusively so. I haven't seen a map where it's sort of a triangle setup. So what I mean by that is that in some previous games, I'm not sure which specific maps, but for instance in Black Ops there were some maps, the original Black Ops that is, there were some maps where when you looked at the maps from above and you looked at the position of the flags on the maps, they weren't linear, they were in a sort of triangle arrangement. And in Black Ops 2 it seems that all the flags are very linear, all the maps are very linear. And that doesn't mean it's bad, I'm just stating fact here. So what I mean by linear is that when you look at the map from above, all the different flags would line up and you could draw a line through them. Probably not perfectly, but very near enough to. What that means is that the B flag, which is always the middle flag, is the one that's most contended, and A and C flag are the home flags where each team is spawning, although you might spawn at B if you've either pushed the other team sufficiently back into their home spawn, or the only flag you have is the B flag, which doesn't occur too often. So the way to win Domination is to, well, in Black Ops 2 you play 2 rounds, and the total amount of score which you get by holding flags you have to get more, your team has to get more score than the other team. And so the easiest way to win is to just hold 2 flags all the time, and that also means that you can you see where the other you know where the other team is spawning. That is where the flag that they have, and that stays the same unless your team overruns their home flag. Then they tend to start spawning in other places on the map. So it's always a good idea not to take their home flag, so you can have predictable spawns. It doesn't mean you have to stay back in camp, sit behind some cover and wait for them to walk out. You can still be aggressive. You just approach, get closer, and then you go away, kill a few people, retreat a bit and approach from a different angle, and that also ensures that you don't die as much. The best opening strategy, which you probably would have seen to start with, or the strategy I like to do, is sometimes I like to rush at the B flag initially, if I'm using a submachine gun that's very good at sort of dealing with a group of people. Then I usually like to go towards the B flag straight away. If I'm using a more passive rifle, like an assault rifle or so, I sometimes cap the home flag, but usually if you don't capture it and go for the B flag, then you get a big advantage, as you can get there and get behind some cover and wait for the other guys to come and capture the flag, which usually means that your team gets the flag. And once you have the B flag, it's much easier to keep the B flag than it is to capture it. But I think the best strategy is to flank the B flag, so let the other team get there, and then flank them and clean them out, because it means that they have to spawn back in at their home flag and you can capture their flag. Now, assuming that most of them go towards the B flag, but if some of them don't go towards the B flag, then probably not going to cap the flag. So I think that's the best strategy. I don't do that in this game, but in other games I do it that way. So once your team holds 2 flags, as I said before, just don't go for the home flag of the other team, because it will cause that team to spawn all over the map and you can't predict, and then they'll shoot you in the back, and bad things will happen from there. So, but if you are behind with the score, usually, I don't know how it works in Black Ops 2, but usually one flag is a score every 5 seconds, I believe. I'm not 100% certain, but each flag has a certain amount of score per minute, and if you get 2 flags you double the score. If you get 3 flags you triple the score, or the base score of 1 flag. So if you're really behind with points, you do have to go for the 3rd point. And a triple cap is very hard to hold, because, as I said, they tend to spawn on the other home flag all over the map, and then they have a really easy time capping that flag since you're on the other side of the map. It requires a bit of teamwork or bad enemies. to hold a free cap. So that's pretty much it. But sometimes you may run into a problem where you don't get the B flag initially, the other team captures it, and it's very difficult to take away the B flag. So the best thing to do in that situation is to go for their home flag. Well, actually first try and take the B flag a couple of times, and if that doesn't work out, if you keep getting shot or whatever, your teammates don't help you and you get flanked a lot, then go for their home flag, because what it means is that it forces them to decide to go for one or the other flag, and the people on their team that intend to capture flags will always go for said home flag, because they only have one or need two to win. So the people that tend to capture go towards the home flag or other flags other than B, and then you have an easy time of capturing B. If you had difficulties before, an easier time, I should say. Easy time of capturing B. It still might be difficult. One more quick note. In this game I do capture all three flags sometimes, but that's because I think it's fun to capture all three flags, and it makes it a bit more challenging, because this lobby, I wouldn't say it was easy, but I think the other team wasn't focusing on the objective as much as they could have, so I was trying to encourage them to go for the objectives a bit more and loosen up the game so I could have a bit more fun. So it's still the best strategy to only capture 2 flags, but sometimes it's fun to capture all 3, and that was the case in this game. So yeah, that's basically all the different strategies that are involved in Domination. Now I'm not going to show you the end of this game, because there's no real point to it. I'll just cut to the end. I think we win, I'm pretty sure we win. I'll just quickly check. Oh, yeah, we win. And I'll show you whatever score I get. So there you go, thank you for watching, and until next time.